Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for sure.
Well, Amit, you said you had a serious question because I'm about to ask him something silly.
Okay.
If you don't.
So this question might take 10 minutes, and then you can end it off with your silly question. I don't know how long it'll take.
My question is just stupid.
You have publicly said on Twitter many times, in opposition to Gary Black's thesis, that Tesla will sell 20 million cars by 2030. And he says you're out of your mind for thinking that. Can you break that down? How do we get to, because I know we only sell 87 million worldwide every year. How do we get to 20 million just for Tesla by 2030?
Sure. No, I appreciate that question. I've thought about this a lot, and the way I view it is twofold. One, I don't think Tesla needs as many factories as one would think to reach the 20 million production per year, especially with the compact car in production. And two is that Tesla and Elon, back to the previous point that was made earlier, is that they look 5 to 10 years out, they make a prediction, and holy shit, are they pretty good at nailing it. And so the biggest one I use is go back to 2014 and read and listen to Elon Musk and Tesla talking about reaching 500,000 units per year by the end of 2020 in 2014 without Gigafactory in Nevada even breaking ground. And people are like, you are a fucking idiot. You don't even have the batteries, you dumbass. What are you talking about? And then 2020, 499,000 cars sold, right? And then you take that guy and then you put what he said, say with SpaceX, which is a completely different company, but it's a manufacturing company. We're going to have rockets that land themselves, and it's going to blow your mind, and it's going to bring the cost of shooting stuff up into space to like a tenth in the long term with Starship and whatever else, right? You're an idiot, physically impossible, dumbest person alive. And then for the last year, they've recovered like 200 boosters or something crazy, right? I forget how many they've recovered, but they've recovered. I think the 200th booster was recovered today. So in the last couple of years. So that should say something. But from an actual numbers perspective, so you think about what Tesla has built out right now. They have Fremont, they have Shanghai, they have Berlin, they have Austin, right? Those are the 4 that are built out right now.
And then Nevada. Is there one in Nevada?
Nevada is like batteries, right? But I'm thinking about car production. Like the battery production side of it is kind of tied to the manufacturing process as well. But yes, they also have Nevada and they also have New York. Like everybody forgets about New York. I forget about New York all the time. That's where they do the solar manufacturing and all that stuff. So they have 6, but 4 of them are car specific. These four factories, but really think of it more as land areas. Fremont's probably capped at like 650. Shanghai, long term, will do 2 million. They're doing 1 million right now. They're expanding the facility to do 1.5, and they have enough land to get to 2. Berlin will probably get to 1 at full capacity. They're doing 500,000, and they're going to expand to 1. And then Texas is giant. I don't know. They have so much land down here. Gigafactory.
I had to, guys.
Yeah, of course. Sure. No problem at all. That's what is she's. Yeah, she definitely did say that.
Bars, I was like, what fucking podcast did I come on today?
No, I love it. I love it. If I was in the middle of math, I would have made a worse joke, but you have me.
No, when Farzad looks up, you're about to get some knowledge drop. You notice that?
He looks up, he's like, I'm about to fucking kill.
You ask him a question, and he's like, bam.
And then Nuevo León in Mexico, right? That's another facility that's going live, and that's been openly slated to do 2 million units per year. So Austin and Nuevo León is 4 million together. Shanghai full ramp is 6. Berlin is 7, right? And then Fremont gets us kind of close to 8-ish, right? But like between 7 and 8 million right now. Line capacity secured. All they have to do is throw up a building. All they have to do. But that's what Tesla's good at. They throw up buildings, and so. With the compact car, the factories that they're going to be building are going to be, they're going to do 2 things, right? They're going to shorten the amount of space that's required to build the car, like square footage wise. And they're also going to try to pump basically twice as many units through that same square footage. So essentially it's like a 4x factor on a factory, right? So conservatively speaking, every new factory that Tesla announces after Mexico is a 2 million car per year factory, conservatively speaking, okay? And so if we're at 8-ish now, and there are 7 years left to 2030, all Tesla really has to do is announce 1 factory per year, and they get to 20 million, right? Now, there could be a situation where at the end of 2030, there are not enough battery materials or raw materials secured, or the supply chain isn't fully built out to do 20 million, and they might do 15 million. They might even do 13 million. But 2031, you're not that far away from 20 million. 2032, you're hitting 20 million, right?
So Farzad,
So
let's say you win the supply argument. Is there the demand for 20 million cars by 2030? You think the demand's no issue?
That's a great question. So here's how I think about that. So what does an electric vehicle do, fundamentally speaking? What is it? So this is, how do you guys think about electric vehicles? What do they do per mile, right? They lower the cost.
Right.
They lower the cost per mile of an electric vehicle. So the Model 3 right now, call it a $40,000 vehicle with, and then you add in the EV tax credit and all that stuff. Basically, it gets the cost per mile to be very similar to a Camry, rivaling a Toyota in certain states, right? In 7 years' time, you're going to have a compact car that's probably going to start at $25,000-ish per year. And then if you sit down and do the math, you do the math for call it a 60-year loan on the car at like 6% interest. You add in the EV tax credit in certain areas. You add in Tesla insurance.
They might not have tax credit. They might have been.
Sure.
I think it's going until 2030.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, shit. Okay. Then.
Yeah, but my point is that the cost per mile of an EV is going to be drastically lower than the average gas car. And as you have developing nations coming online in Africa and Asia and South America, and you have more and more people willing to adopt this technology over time, I'm quite confident that there will be more than enough demand for 20 million Teslas per year, because the average cost per mile of those cars are probably going to be half of what they are today. And with the car market, this is a very well-known thing. When you're going down the price, thank you, Smack. I appreciate you, brother. When you're going down the cost curve on the car market, it's an exponential growth. So for every $5,000, if ARC had a chart or something, like when you go from 35 to 25,000, you go from like 40% TAM to like 80% TAM.
80% of the market is below $32,000. 80%.
Exactly.
Something like that.
Exactly. And you just keep going down the cost curve. What else could Tesla offer in 7 years' time as the cost of raw materials go down, the battery materials go down, and then we're not even talking about the self-driving portion of it, right? If you have a self-driving thing with the car where the car's driving itself, what's stopping somebody from hailing a car that's going to be cheaper than a Toyota Corolla per mile, vastly cheaper than a Toyota Corolla per mile, and you have a private chauffeur and you get to be driven around in private? How is that not going to be the only way people get around? Why wouldn't that be the only way people get around? You pay less than a Corolla per mile and you literally get driven around in a nice car. Why wouldn't people buy that? Or use it?
I have a question. I mean, just before we sort of finish, are you only buying? Do you still buy Tesla stock? That's one. And what is your other? Is there another bet that you have that's happening that we don't know about? Like, because you seem obviously like you're all in Tesla and there's nothing else, but there's got to be something else.
And third, have you disclosed your average? Have you disclosed the position size, or that stuff you kind of keep to yourself?
No, I'd keep it to myself. Yeah, okay. I keep that stuff to myself.
But can you answer the questions I asked, at least, about if there's something else? Okay.
Yeah. So the last time I bought was 2021. I wish I bought earlier this year, but unfortunately I couldn't. We have a certain lifestyle set up, and my dumb ass didn't set aside enough to buy more Tesla, and so that was my lesson learned. So I'm like, okay, so don't go on vacation all the time. I try to be. So that's one. So 21 was the last time I bought Tesla. And then, sorry, what was the other question? Oh, the other big bet that I have.
Do you have anything else? Is your whole portfolio 99.9% Tesla?
He wants to know how much Palantir you're holding.
How much Enphase are you
Zero.
holding? That's
Zero.
How much Bitcoin are you holding?
I'm actually, so in my stock portfolio, I'm 100% Tesla. And then I'm holding, I think somewhere around 10,000 of Bitcoin, maybe a little bit more.
So 100%
a little bit of Bitcoin.
Tesla. That's it.
100% Tesla. Yeah.
Please tell me your wife has some VOO or VTI.
No, 401k, IRA, everything's Tesla. Yeah.
Wow.
Normally,
cool, bro. That's fucking
Don't do what I do.
Normally, I would disagree with that whole approach. But when it comes to Tesla, I think you're buying almost like an index fund, because you're buying so many industries that come along with it that it makes sense. It's literally buying a battery company. It's buying an automobile company. It's buying an energy infrastructure place.
An AI company, right?
Yeah, but an AI company.
Uber.
Yeah, a software company. So if you think about it, you're getting a pretty balanced portfolio by investing in one company that you know is being very well run. So most of the time, I disagree with people who want to go all in on one stock, but with Tesla, it's not such a
Wait, so
crazy thing
Farzad,
to
when it
think
went to
about.
$100 in January, were you like panicking a little bit, or you were still just keeping your cool and you were like, you'll be fine?
I mean, I wasn't panicking. I mean, it definitely hurts to see your portfolio go down by 75%. You're like, wow, I'm such an idiot kind of thing. You definitely have moments of doubt. But then I think where I'm very fortunate is that back in when I was working at Tesla, 2017, 2018, having been an investor since 2013, I mean, I've seen the insanity of holding the stock. What was different this time is that it was a severe drop that happened really quickly while Elon was buying Twitter, and I had a platform where people would reach out to me, and basically I got to see how many people are really suffering from that stock drop because maybe they didn't position themselves in a way that they felt like, they underestimated the risk of holding the stock, basically.
And margin.
Are you selling a little bit though every year to fund your lifestyle, or it's nothing like that at all? You're just holding all the shit.
The last time I sold was 21. I sold a little bit in 21, okay. And then since then we haven't really touched it. Yeah. Wow. I mean, I'm not one of those guys where it's like I'm going to hold 100% of my stock forever. If my wife and I find a situation to maybe move a little bit, like a single-digit % from the position and get into something else, we'll do it. Like we do that with real estate, Like that's the other thing that I do is like I have real estate locally here.
Smart.
But from a stock perspective, it's all Tesla. But yeah.
Awesome.
So if it just just to pick up from what you said before, if you ever do get in touch with Drew Dixon,
sorry, not financial advice.
Of course, the whole thing is not financial advice. If you ever do get in touch with Drew Dixon and you wanted to have someone moderate a debate between the two of you guys so that you could focus on just making your points, I think all the guys here would love to host that.
I appreciate that.
Oh, Carlos, that's you. You got to take that up. That's all.
I would love to. I'd love to like literally moderate it, ask the questions, and get the two sides of it, and do the follow-ups with 2 minutes and responses and the whole thing. Okay, so I have a silly question, and then I'm going to ask the question I think everybody wants to know. Okay, so the silly question is, does your wife call you producer husband?
Dude, I call my wife producer wife now.
I started using that. I started using that too. Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
These motherfuckers started on my shit.
What did she call it? Is it stated on your license? Like a producer?
No, she calls me daddy. No,
no, definitely not. Definitely not. No, she calls me. Yeah, she just calls me babe. I mean, just babe. I think it's funny because with her it was like as I called her producer wife the very first time, and then after the stream I'm like, did that, like, are you okay with that? She's like, yeah, why would I care? I'm your producer and I'm your wife.
What do you say to people on Twitter who give you so much shit?
Oh, you got.
I don't know why they say that shit, but they like get.
You know what I say? You know what I say? Shut the fuck up.
There we go.
You don't know my life.
It's because they don't have a producer wife.
Yeah,
it's none of your fucking business what I call my own wife, and it's none of your business how she feels around the name.
Bro, it's the weirdest shit when people would say, I'm like, what? Yeah. I'm like, him and his wife have a beautiful relationship doing YouTube together, and you're trying to fucking make an issue.
Listen,
I have wife, thoughts.
Is she actually your producer though? Is this true?
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
So is mine. Mine gets me the drinks anytime. She wakes me up for the podcast.
Chris calls his bartender wife.
Dude, I'm so lucky. I mean, dude, she's killer. I mean, she's not just great from the perspective of producing, but she's been so supportive through this whole pet project of mine that started as a hobby and now it's sort of morphed into something that's
it's a business now, right?
Rewarding. It is. It's a legitimate source of income, and it's something that I absolutely love doing. It doesn't feel real. Like my life doesn't feel real, and that's what I'm most grateful about is that I get to experience something that I feel like so few people get to experience, and I count my blessings every single morning. And for every second that I spend complaining, I try to punch myself in the face because I have no right to do that. Because I literally
get to create content. You get to create content on the internet. You get to peek through a little bit of the crazy noise that exists on YouTube, social media, etc. And you get to have an opinion, and you get people to actually. That's a really beautiful life. I think
it's insane, independently, and I'm bound to myself. I don't have to. I say whatever I like the craziest thing that I've realized doing this YouTube thing is like, why aren't more people on networks independent. Like, why does MSNBC have talking heads? Why does Fox have talking heads? Why does CNN why does anybody have talking heads? Just go independent. Like, what are you waiting for? You just need a camera and a good microphone.
You saw the success of Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson. You'll see. I mean,
exactly.
I think Don Lemon should do the same thing. All these people,
these guys would kill it.
Even like Rachel Maddow, as much as I might not agree with everything she says, it'd be great if she had a platform.
Yeah.
So now I want to ask you the question that I think this is like the question that everybody.
Wait, before Carlos, before you go there, I just want to say one thing. I think the reason why some of them don't do it is because they actually aren't not of substance. They literally just talking heads. They follow a script, and that's all they're really there for.
They got mics in their ears, radios in the ears.
There's very few people that can actually craft and articulate a viewpoint and make everyone say, yeah, you know what? I didn't think of it that way. Other people are just like good at reading off of a teleprompter. So
and win the click. YouTube, you got to win the click. If CNN broadcasts you, you're not and winning the click is fucking hard. Farzad, that's hard.
I watch Farzad. I watch your videos, and I think we did an interview last time. I said, you know what? You bring a different level of perspective into this that makes people want to be engaged with it, right? It's not just, hey, Tesla's doing this today and Tesla's doing that tomorrow. No, you're actually introspectively looking at some of the things that they're doing, you know, giving your opinions on it. And a lot of times I don't see that with other people. So I think whatever following that you have cultivated, and especially thanks to your wife helping you produce it, I think it's something that's to behold. And actually, I think this is only a beginning. I think you're going to go much further in the future with it, man. And hopefully you'll come back on and join us, because we want to go further with what we're doing too.
My goodness. I mean,
you're in a unique position where you're grandfathered into the ground level of this Twitter thing, right? So you already have your subscriber base. The people that are in at this level are going to be like, you know, the Marcus Brownlees of, you know, that's where that's going. I think if it becomes that platform, you're just going to scoop up all the people. And in a few years, we might not even be able to get to you. We'll have to talk to your assistant.
If anyone hasn't subscribed
to get a
Farzad,
message to Farzad, Jesus.
If anyone hasn't subscribed to Farzad,
email. Right. Put it up on the.
My God, you guys are too nice, man. No, seriously. I mean, it's extremely flattering. It makes me feel like so. I'm just honored, and it's really. Just thank you guys. I mean, you guys kill it. I've been watching. You know, I sometimes hop into your stream late. You know, I'm like just kind of hanging out and kind of watching what you guys do. But I really appreciate your voices. You guys are. I feel like you guys are unbiased, very logical people that are talking about the subjects openly. With rawness, and you're not afraid to talk about stuff, right? As it pertains to different things. So I really appreciate that from you guys. And yeah, it's just an absolute joy being part of the conversation. Like, again, like to me feel surreal because I'm just hanging out with a bunch of bros talking about stuff, but then there's people watching.
586 people watching. Like,
dude, and then I'll be at freaking Planet Fitness working out because I'm too lazy to go to a bigger gym. So we go to Planet Fitness, and then like I've had 3 random people be like, "Are you Farzad?" I'm like, yeah. He's like, dude, I love your videos. I'm like, what the fuck is this, bro? Like, I'm working out. Like, what? It's like, it's surreal. It's weird, but I'm so grateful for it. And
you got someone asking for your autograph yet?
Okay, so
we sign my Tesla key.
When we go to like you know how Tesla has events in Austin, and then they'll do like a pre-thing at like a bar and stuff. Like, I like to go to those to meet people, but like I'm constantly taking selfies and signing stuff. It's surreal. It's very strange.